So usually what I do when I have a vacation is I put a photo montage together. But this time I thought some of these photos really need some more explanation. So I thought I'd kind of walk you through my vacation. We really did three main things. We first saw a lot of temples and pagodas. Then we did a lot of hiking. And finally we spent a fair bit of time in taxis. And one thing about these taxis is that every day we had a new taxi driver, which we seemed to feed them the same story again and again and again, was that we were three business partners traveling across China together, which was very strange why we had that story. But they bought it, and that's just what we went with every day. And one of the strangest things about being in a taxi in China is really the way that the country's built. We'd be driving along on a highway and just mountains and stuff around you. And then all of a sudden, in the distance, you'd see this like 4-block radius of a city. And you'd get to this city, and you'd be driving through this city, and there'd be people coming by. And then you would take a right, and you'd be almost in a village. So you'd have a little bit of prosperity, then a little more poverty. And you'd be driving through this area, and you'd be able to see the people. And then you would take a left, and you would see a temple and a pagoda just sitting there, hundreds of years old, some of these thousands of years old. And that was really interesting to see because it was completely different than what I'm used to. And each one of these temples and pagodas had their own unique style. Some of the paintings were fantastic. Some of them were less than that, but it's because some were just not taken care of. And it's a big deal in China to rehab these facilities, and it was amazing that as they were rebuilding them, they just let us come in and take photos. They even explained what they were doing and where they were going. But one of my favorite things was hiking to go to the Great Wall of China. And this is because what we did is we got out of a taxi at the bottom of a mountain, and we just started walking. We made our own path all the way up, Anthony and I. And we got up to the top. You know, as cliche as it is, it was spectacular. I mean, the view was great. It was a little overcast that day, but you could see for miles. And you were walking along this wall that is hundreds and hundreds of years old. So as we were up there and walking around and even going to the villages and the pagodas and the entire trip, it really did inspire me. I felt rejuvenated after this trip to come back to life and work and really tackle the challenges that are in front of me.